this webinar starts in the next couple of minutes. Hello, Raghav, how are you? Glad you could join us. I'm actually going live from Ireland. It's actually almost 10 a.m. here. What time is it there in India? I think it's around 2, if I'm not wrong. All right, I'm good. Yeah, Raghav, not bad, not bad. Hi, Sai, Hyderabad, how are you? It's the 2:30 p.m. All right, okay. Yeah, I think given the lockdown situation, we are all at homes. We have time to spend. So I'm working away from home. Um, I will come to the part where I introduce myself, but currently I basically work with final year student from Symbiosis School of Culinary Arts, Pune. Awesome. I've been to Symbiosis to give a lecture long back, but no, not to the culinary school, of course, to the some other department. Hi, Emma. How are you? You're from Indonesia. Nice to meet you too. All right. Hi, Rekha. How are you? All right, folks. I hope you participate in the polls. If you just dropped in here, we have more people joining in us with us. In fact, I might have to log down the webinar room when we reach the limit today because we have close to 500 plus participants. Maybe not everyone will join, but I'm sure a good number is going to join in. So our scheduled time is in next 3 minutes, so we'll start then. But meanwhile, let's say a quick hi. Hi, Manav. Hi, Rekha. Please drop in a quick hi on the chat. Tell us where you're from, which city. Connection loss. Can't see video. Yes, I'm still doing a couple of tests there, so don't worry about that. We'll get that fixed. Is the audio fine? Hi, Amarnath. Hi, Manav. Hi, Akansha. Praveen. How are you today? Very glad you could join me at 2:30 in India, 10 a.m. here where I am. So good day. I hope you guys had your lunch or slash breakfast. I'm still between my breakfast, so might get the hi Praveen, hi Rekha. For people who joined, my name is Andrew Mendes. I'm going to be your host for the webinar today. I'm just getting the sound and audio checked. So am I audible? Is the screen? Can you see my screen? Hi Raghav, we have poultry daily production of 90,000 eggs. Awesome, that's nice. Hi Siddharth. All right, so I believe the audio is working fine. The video is as well. I'm just doing a couple of checks here, but otherwise we're good to start in the next 1 minute. Is the screen fine? Are you able to see my screen, guys? So, hello, Siddharth. Mano, all right, thank you. The audio is fine. Great. So that's sorted. All right, so we will begin in the next 1 minute. I hope if you're just here, just also ensure that you participate in the polls. If you just got here, it'll help me to understand a bit more about yourself, what you do, that kind of stuff. All right, I will be introducing what I do, Manav. We'll come to that. All right, so I think it's we're good to start. I think we have enough folks here to start. So, warm good morning, good evening, good afternoon for folks attending from India. My name is Andrew Mendes, and I will be actually hosting the webinar on food business. There's still few folks joining in. Hi, Piyush. Hi. Is it still buffering? I hope. Welcome to the food business webinar, folks. I'm going to start. We are on time here. We have a lot of people in here already, so I hope the screen is visible. If you've just got here. So what are we going to discuss here today? We're going to talk about food business, how to launch or market your food business. So I have a poll that's published that, hi Froilan, how are you? That I hope all of you participated. If not, just drop in on the polls. It tells me a bit about yourself, what you do. It will help me to make this as conversational as possible. If you have any questions, do drop it in the chat box. Also, if you're just here, just drop in a hi, tell me where you're from, just to get the conversation going. So we're going to be talking about how to launch or market your food business today. And let me tell you, this is both relevant for food services or products. So if you run a restaurant, that's fine. If you run a cafe, it's fine. If you're owning a food business, you're in manufacturing, you're a farmer, like you have poultry business. It's I'm going to make it as generic as possible for all of you. My name is Andrew Mendes. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. Hi, Shruti from Bangalore. How are you? Hi, Shruti Kulkarni. Where you're from? Hi, Siren. Donegal, Ireland. Burger takeaway food business want to expand. Hi, Siren. I'm actually based in Dundalk, in County Louth. Good to have you here this morning. One not so wonderful day from here. Hi, Rohan. How are you? Food. Like I said, this webinar, I'll try to make it as customizable as possible for all types of businesses, be it even if you're in, let's say, I would say, a restaurant owner or a food producer. For folks who are on Instagram Live, please use the link in bio to join me on the live webinar because you won't be able to see the slides here. So I would say if you can join me on using the webinar link, that'll be amazing. All right, so we're good to start here. So my name is Andrew Mendes. I have been entrepreneur all my life, more than 6 startups and counting so far. Why am I talking about food business? I think that's the biggest question. As you can see there, my fifth business after having sold my advertising agency was in food business. I tried to launch a snack brand in India and Ireland, and sort of have hands-on experience running a food business. We had a good run, but finally we went bust. But that and for that reason, I know the ins and outs of the business. So that's why I'm going to be talking about food business, folks. If you're on Instagram, join me. Follow me on Instagram as well. If you want to track more, if you have any particular questions, join me on follow me on Instagram as well. All right. So about my food business, this is the brand I launched. It was called Pling. We were in the snack segment. So we tried to launch this in India and Ireland. We were listed in a lot of retail outlets like Spar and the likes of that. Hello, Mr. Tiwari. Namaste from India as well. Hi, Parth. How are you? Visitor Business India, do share your views. Shruti. Hello, Shruti. How are you? All right. Hi, folks. So people who've just joined in, I hope you participate in the polls. That's there. Also drop in a quick hi. My name is Andron Mendes. I have been a marketer, also an ex-food business owner. That's how I know about business. I mean, food business. In this webinar, we're going to be talking about both restaurant or service businesses as well as product businesses. So it's generic and applicable for both. I'm not going to be talking about any quick fixes, but we'll have few strategies I think all of you can relate to and apply as well. So if you participate in the polls, I'm going to be having one more poll that I'm going to publish right now. I just want to understand what stage of business are you in? Are you already starting something, or are you on idea stage? So I have another one poll that's published right now. Please participate in that as well. If you have any questions, I will be taking questions towards the end of it. Sherman, you want it on full screen? Okay, let me try that. I think we are on full screen here already, but all right, let me try something here and let me know if this is any different. Oop, that's all I can take right now. Sorry, Sherman. I hope this is clear enough for the time being. Anyway, I'll be sharing this depth towards the end if you're not very clear with what you see right now. All right, so just to give you a quick intro about my business. So like a quick video of my business, which I launched in India. So, like I said, I was in the snacking business. I did not set up a manufacturing unit of my own. So, what you see there was my contract manufacturing partner. So, I set out in a dream to launch an alternative brand and to potato. So, we did cassava and banana chips. So, that's what we did. We had a good run. I mean, we raised investment. We ran for 2 years, more than 20,000 plus outlets, 5 cities. It was an amazing run, but towards the end, we actually got a bit bankrupt. For folks who are joining on Instagram, like I said, please join me on the webinar live using the link in bio. Go to my Instagram and check my link in bio to actually log into this webinar, because on Instagram, you might not be able to see the slides. So please join in on on live webinar. So yeah, quick video about my previous business. Hello, Andrea. Sorry, but audio is gone here. Is anyone else finding issues with audio, folks? Andrea, are you on mobile or are you on laptop? How are you accessing this? Hi, Nikhil from Kanpur to start a home-based restaurant promoting my mother's home food business. Awesome. Amazing idea there. Nikhil, I hope today's webinar is going to help you. Hi, Grish. Hi, Richard. How are you? Is anyone else finding audio issues? My audible, is everything fine? Are you able to see the video as well? So this video I'm playing, it's about my previous food business. So YouTube video seems to be have some issue. All right, okay, sorry. Yes, it's slow. Is it rendering? Anyway, it's okay. The video is almost over. So this was my food business. That's my daughter. She's now 3 years old. All right, so this was my food business I launched in India. Like I said, we had a good run, but finally got a bit bankrupt at the end of the day, and I had to shut it down. And now I'm based in Ireland. So any folks who's on in the webinar from Ireland, I think I saw a few names from Ireland. Someone from Donegal. Anyone else here who's from Ireland? Otherwise, for folks who's attending from India, I come from Kerala, so my food business was in India. Uh, I've now moved to Ireland, but otherwise, I've been doing businesses in India all my life. So that's that. All right. So, oops, what happened to the? There seems to be some problem here. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. All right. Okay, so that's a quick intro about me, about why I'm doing this webinar on food business and my background. Like I said, I launched a snack brand, and I also come from an advertising background. So after my advertising business, I set out to launch what do you call that? A snack business. It was called Pling Foods. We launched in India and Ireland. So this is a few shots of that. All right. So what are we doing in the next 30 minutes? I'm just trying to connect few links. So hello Joey, net issue. You can put that video link somewhere. All right, yeah. Like I said, if it's not very clear, I'm going to share this deck towards the end. You can still go back and view. Also, I'm going to share a replay link for this as well in case you're not able to fully see it. Willing to create a brand for my eggs and start marketing in big cities nearby. Bravo, that's amazing idea. I see a lot of interest. In fact, I have a friend who actually started a ready to eat, the egg yolk sort of a business as well. So it's an interesting space. So let's chat. All right. So in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to try connecting the links in terms of my food business journey. I want to share a few scenarios from my own experience. I'm hoping I'll help you. Like I said, this is relevant for both um, food products or services. So if you are in the service business, don't if you're running a restaurant or cafe, these points are still valid for you. So I'm going to share 7 points which will help you to launch or scale your food business. And these 7 things that I'm going to share are things that I wish someone told me when I was starting my business. Just to confirm, are you live on Insta too? I am live, but the live Instagram video will not have the slides, so I've basically stopped there. So you can only find me here. I'm not still in food business, Richard, but I would have worked with food businesses, help them apply my learnings right now. So we'll talk about that towards the end. Um, for folks who are just here, I hope you participate in the poll about what you do and what stage of business you're in. Just to give all of you a quick idea, we have a lot of people here. Around 42% people are in idea stage, 27 have already started, 10% are 3 years plus business, 20%, I think I know where to start, but yet to start. All right, so which is fine. Whatever stage of business you're in, it's amazing. Uh, I would say if you have an idea and you want to work with it, this is a brilliant time. I know lockdown is and all this situation with COVID is tough, but I would say this is also an opportunity, and I'll tell you why that is the case in our slides ahead. All right, so as we start to talk about these 7 things, I also want to know one more thing, which is what I'm going to publish in my next poll. Is a lot of people have said you're an idea stage, or you are going to start and you don't know where to start. But I want to know what is your plan. And when I say plan, I mean what is in your head? Where do you want to start, right? So I've put a few options on the poll. If you can head over to polls and answer this question quickly, it'll help me to help you further as we progress on the webinar. So going back to the slide, so like I said, I'm going to share 7 things I wish someone told before I started. So that's what this webinar is all about. Like I said, it's relevant for both restaurant or service businesses as well as for manufacturers or food product owners too. The first point is we need to start with numbers, and that's why this poll that I've just published is important. I want to know, what is your plan? How many of you have a plan in head? You don't have to write it down, maybe not a presentation or an Excel, but what is your plan in general, right? So head to the poll. I have a few questions for you there in terms of the plan. So what is your plan? Do you want to start your business with having 6 type of products or variants? Do you want to start your restaurant or a cafe in, let's say, 2 cities or 5 cities and then scale them nationally? Um, you want to set up a chain of hotels or cafes, or do you want to launch your business all over the country? What is your plan that you have in your head, right? Please let me know that by attending the polls. For people who already have an existing business, I think this poll is still set relevant, as in how you plan to scale it up. What is your plan? What is your plan in head? You're founder of Snackaroo, most innovative street food company. Praveen, nice of you to join here. Hope you'll be sharing some insight for us to discuss here as well. All right, Snackaroo, I'll check that out later. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing that. Hi, Parth. Would like you share your views on Cloud Kitchen Mall? Yes, Parth, we'll come to that. I think Cloud Kitchen Mall right now, a lot of people are trying to do that. I see this trend going in India and Europe as well. We'll talk about that towards the end. I've not created a brand that's yet, Raghav, but yes, we could get onto that. I think today's webinar will help you. All right, so hope you all have participated in the polls. So let's start with the first thing, right? Start with numbers. Now, I know a lot of you have plans in terms of setting up businesses. You want to have 6 variants, or you want to start 6 cafes, you want to have a chain of cafes, or you want to have an online business and take it globally, right? So, like you, this was the aspiration I had too when I started. I wanted to launch 6 variants in 2 different price points. Now, what is tricky here is we don't really look at the numbers when we do that. So I think we've already asked this, right? How many people here want to start their food product business with 6 to 10 variants? I hope you participated in that poll there, or you want to set up a food truck or a cafe or a restaurant with international quality in 5 locations, or you want to start an online food business in 5 cities. So, like I said, this is relevant for our existing owners too, in terms of how you want to scale, or was this your initial plan, right? So the thing is, how many of you actually here have sat down and put a cost to the so-called setup? That's the important question. So when I say start with numbers, this is what I mean. So can you tell me if any of you have actually done that? I mean, before you start up, sat down and put together a cost and of doing that? Have you put that maybe in a sheet of paper? So for folks who haven't done that, let me put some perspective onto it. So when I was in your picture as well, right? I also wanted to do the same thing. So I'm going to talk about an example which I know because it's close to my business. So you can do the same thing if you're in the service business, or if you're set up a restaurant or an online business. Now I'm going to talk about numbers which I am exactly sure of. So let's say if you want to start a snack business or a packed food business, right? So let's say you want to launch 3 flavors in 2 price points, like the way I wanted to. So those pictures you see there, those are the 3 variants I had launched in 1 price point, and then I launched 2 price points as well. So let's look at this way. What is our initial cost going to be, right? So I am assuming that we're going to do contract manufacturing, which is going to invest in setting up manufacturing like me, where I use other manufacturers to get my product manufactured. But even then, so we're just trying to understand the base cost here, right? So if you want to have one variant, right? If you want to just look at the raw material cost, one print die, right, plus 1,000 kilo material plus 500 kilo flavor is what it will mean. So one variant means you have to have one print die plus 1,000 kilo of packaging material, which is like the minimum purchase that you have to buy. Um, and then 500 kilo of flavor. Again, these are all minimum purchases, right? And if I put that in price, one variant will be $1,000 for the print die, which is approximately 80,000 rupees. The packaging material, 1,000 kilos, is going to cost roughly $2,000. That's almost a lakh and a half. And the flavor purchase of 500 kilos is going to cost $1,200, which is again for roughly around 100 lakhs. All of that put together, the cost for one variant, the base cost for one variant is approximately 4,200 US dollars, which is again approximately 3.5 lakhs in Indian rupees. Again, it's somewhat same in euros, somewhere around 4,000 euros is what it would cost for a single variant. Can we see the recorded version? I cannot get clear audio. Sorry, Joey. Are you on laptop? Are you on mobile? Anyone else having audio issues? Audio is not buffering. Might be about the internet. I'm not sure about that, but I'll be sending you a replay link, also the link of this deck as well. So no worries there. Try to listen as much as you can right now. Coming back, so one variant, the cost is 4,000 euros or dollars or 3.5 lakhs approximately. So if you want to launch 6 variants in 2 price points, that is 4,000 into 6 into 2. You do the math, right? So that means you need to spend, what is that? What kind of money are we talking? That's approximately $4,800 in, I mean, you do the math, right? So this is just raw material cost to begin with, as in nothing else but basic raw material cost for you to start by launching 6 variants. So the question is, do we have so much of money to launch this, right? So this is why starting with numbers is very important, because it will give you realistic and practical uh, targets. It will help you put those targets out there. And like I said, I wanted to do the same thing. Finally, I launched with 3 variants, and that's it, because that's all I could afford initially. So sit down on and put in the cost for you to set this up. If you're setting up a manufacturing, if you're setting up a cafe, how much money do you need to put in minimum, right? So you say you want to have 2 cities, 6 cities, or international quality. How much is that gonna cost you? And do you have that kind of resources? That's the first question we need to ask. So putting together and look at the numbers. So start with the numbers. That's the first point. The next point, which is very important, is how a brand and design can make or break your business. I don't know how many people here agree with that. If you're already in this business, you might know that the value of that. For others, what to just break it down further, what I meant is, um, first impression is everything in this business. I mean, be it you're in the snacks business, as in a ready to pack, ready to eat food business, or you're a cafe or a food truck or an online business, whatever you do, your brand, what it means, how it looks, the colors, how it's designed, it's very important. That does that initial talking. So if that job is done, 50% of the marketing effort is right there. So this, for that reason, brand and imagery is very, very, very important. So, so what does that entice, right? What does that entice is, if you're going to work on customer engaging packaging, there's a lot of things that you need to know about. Now, when we design packaging for Pling, I was looking at how I can engage with the customer at the end point, and that's the brief I gave my agency. So whoever you work with, your partner, your vendor, they also need to know this is the brief or this is the end point of it. So you need to know about your segment, your restaurant, the kind of cafe you want to own, the kind of food product you want to launch. Look at competition, talk to your customers, and then decide, okay, this is the direction I want to take, and brief your agency or a partner about it. So so that's the first thing. Have the best brand and story that you can set out there. For me, one thing I can say that worked for my business eventually is the branding and the packaging design, because people looked at it and they saw quality as first impression. So that's what's very important. However, you're saying it becomes very difficult as the community doesn't have value. I'm not sure. I'll be surprised. I'm sure Raghav will be surprised. Now, I'm in Ireland. I should say here, selling eggs here is a very branded activity here. So I've seen that happening. So there is a lot of scope in actually branding eggs. So we can talk about that. I can share a few examples as well. Can you share your PPT right now? We can refer to it and listen to your audio simultaneously. Okay, that's might be a bit tricky to share that right now, but couple, yeah, if you can, you will be able to view the link from here. If you go to this link here, it will take you to, it will show you today's presentation. The link will be sent to your messenger and not anywhere else. So it's a bit tricky, but you'll be able to view the link from there. Would request you to please share how to go about Raghav. Yes, we'll talk about that towards the end. Design is a silent ambassador of your brand. Yes, Ajay, you said that right. Absolutely. Lace launched the same kind of packaging. Lace copy your packaging. See, there's nothing much about copying here, folks. So I think when I launched this in India, Lace launched similar packaging in Europe. So it's a bit tricky to claim who copied from where. And I think even Lace took this design from some other Canadian design. In fact, there was a write-up about that. So no, Lace did not copy this design from me or vice versa. Sidara, receive nothing on my messenger. So when you click that link, it will take you get to the messenger. You have to be connected on Facebook to download that. That's the only way you can preview this link. I'm a bit sorry about that. That's how it's set up. But I'll try to figure out another way between this. But if you want to see the link right now, that's the only way. All right, so moving on to the deck. So after design, the next important point is to have a team. Now, why is that very important, right? Hire the A team. That means employees, that means partners, agencies, or consultants. Now, this is something I've seen that's taken for granted everywhere in India or in Ireland is people want to get the initial job done cheaply, like the least cost. Now, you need to understand if someone is giving you a service for the worst, like the cheapest cost, that means the quality or output is also going to be that. Now, again, no disrespect to people who work there. That's not, I didn't mean to say that cheap is bad quality, but someone who knows the value of their time and what they deliver, they will not sell anything for cheap. So for that reason, in your initial days, whoever you work with, be it consultants who's developing your menu, your recipe, or agencies who's developing your brand, or employees, the first set of employees, I would say they need to be the A team. And this is something I personally have learned the hard way because when I hired my sales team, that's one of the biggest mistake I did was I went for the B team or C team because of the cost factor. But what I meant is, see, when we choose our initial partners, we need to put our budget priorities set, right? I mean, these initial partners will help us successful. So we need to spend that money there. So just to give a perspective, don't choose someone who would charge $200 for your logo and design. Now, why I meant that is because logo design, branding, packaging, especially for food business, is not an easy game. So work with someone who has experience in it, and someone who has experience in it will not do the job for $200 for sure. So be it your food consultant, it's the same thing. So these people work with you on your early days. So their full commitment and expertise and experience is required. And you're paying them for the experience, not for them to be cheap. So for that reason, you shouldn't be stingy when it comes to hiring the right set of people. Look at their experience, look at their previous work, and then decide whom you want to be hiring with. That is very important in this business because I've seen most of the food business. What they end up doing is they go for the cheapest guy around. So that's not the best idea, I would say, if you're going to do this. All right. So moving on, after hiring the team, what is next? Next big thing is leverage the expertise of market leaders by working with them. Now, once you launch, what this means is that you will be working with, let's say, a distributor or an aggregator, which means, let's say, if you're in the restaurant business, you will work with the likes of Just Eat or Uber Eats or Swiggy or Zomato. Or if you are in the hotel business, you will work with Booking.com, the likes of that. If you are in food business, you'll work with maybe Amazon. You will work with a lot of distributors in your local area, right? So this is very important, and I've seen how entrepreneurs play stingy game around it. I've spoken to a lot of restaurant owners who say that I don't want to work with Just Eat or Uber Eats or Swiggy or Zomato because they take a lot of commission. I think it's around 30% or lesser. But see, one thing you need to understand is they have a system, they have data, they have consumers, right? So you need to leverage that. So initially, when you launch a restaurant or your cafe or your food truck or your food business, you don't have the leverage of data or expertise, but these people do, right? For that reason, I would say you need to work with them. You need to leverage their expertise to work for you. Yes, you might be giving some 30 or 40% commission there, but should say it's all worth it because whatever business you're in, even in food service or product business, distribution is going to be the key because that will decide how whether you're successful or whether you're failure. So when you sign up distribution partners, ensure that they have experience in the category and shortlist on that basis. But this is a mistake I did as well. So when I worked with distributors initially, I gave distributionship with anyone who had money. I didn't look at their experience or whether they handle a similar profile, and that sort of backfired in the long run. So for that reason, like I said, even if you are running a restaurant, right, work with the best, very important. Bharat is asking, what is the importance of marketing team or agency in an online food delivery setup in India? With most of the orders comes from Zomato and Swiggy. Yes, so I would say this is the point we're discussing, right? So initially, when you launch, leverage the likes of Just Eat or Zomato or Swiggy. So I had someone from Ireland here. Donegal, are you using Just Eat or any of these platforms? I would say use that, right? Initially, use that until you build your own platform. Let's say you build a website or your own booking system. And using Just Eat or Zomato, you get customer data, right? Pull in all that. So leverage these guys to build your base, to market your product initially, and then eventually move out or try to focus more on your own websites and platform. So in terms of importance of a marketing team or an agency, it is important because an agency or a team is will help you in long term and help you to move away from the likes of Zomato and Swiggy. Unfortunately, this is not available in my current location. I have to open another location in Donegal soon and would hope to work with that. I think there's also Marvin, right? There's a couple of delivery. There's not sure if Deliveroo is in our area as well. So I know if there is no the likes of Just Eat, I'm sure there might be local partners, and especially with COVID, I find a lot of local online businesses that's coming in. Yes, Sierra, I think Just Eat would be beneficial. I tell you why, because you can focus on your own business, which is making food and ensuring everything is in place, than being worried about getting orders or getting consumers. So I would say this is more like if you have enough bandwidth to promote your own online site, your own ordering, and your own delivery, yes, you should do that. But I would say initially eat off the likes of Just Eat. I mean, be there, eat off their data, eat off their consumer, get them to push your brand, be out there, get as many people to know you through Just Eat, and you know the game, right? So once you know the game, I would say you can do on your own. So that's the benefit in working with them. Yes, you'll be sharing a lot of pie from there. Kapil, just to give a quick picture, I shared a link there. You have to go there, and the link for this particular slide will be sent to you on Facebook Messenger. You can't download it as a PDF. Uh, Once you go there, let me show to you for folks who are trying to. One sec. Uh, just quickly, I'll show what's happening. So I've shared a link, just downloads. Once you go there, you'll find a couple of four of these things. The last two are decks of my previous webinars. This one, the one with strawberry, that's essentially today's webinar deck. So once you click this, get this in Messenger. It'll take you to Messenger, or if you're on your phone or if you're on your laptop, basically whatever it is to be sent, it will be sent on your Messenger, the link for this particular slide. So that's how it is. You won't be able to download it, but you will get the link for the deck through Messenger. So that's that. All right, moving on. We were talking about using Just Eats before you move on to your own sites. All right, moving on. The next point. All right, and if you are in product business, like I said, yeah, get the best distribution partner in your area. So if you're looking at distributing food products, understand who in your area is working with similar products and work with them. Ensure they have similar products in the category. Now, this is one important thing a lot of people really don't think about, and I have burned my fingers, I would say, because of this, is that when you start your food business, Now, this is a minimum number, right? What it means is target for 50% margins after COGS. For people who don't know what COGS is, don't worry, I didn't know what COGS is until a few years back. Is cost of goods sold, which means the cost of production or cost of making, right? So, what it means is that after you give commission to retailers, distributors, and your production cost, you need to have 50% with you. Same thing for restaurant, right? After your production cost, which is raw material making, wages of the people, you need to have 50% margins with you to make your business sustainable in the long run. So this is very, very critical. Now, Arvind, are you on mobile or laptop? Anyone else having issues with audio? Everything looks fine from my end. All right, so to elaborate, what it means is you need to have 50% margins after your production expenses, right? So why this is important is because at the end of the day, you need to understand that in business, cash is king, right? Now, these numbers is not something you might have from day one. As in, you might not have 50% margins after cost from day one, but you'll eventually get there, and you need to keep constantly work towards getting there. So, which is important to have to make your business sustainable. Now, this is something where I lost ground, and I should say my business went bankrupt uh, because I couldn't get there quickly. So it is very critical that you reach this point as quick as possible in your food business journey. Target 50% for margins. All right, moving on. Choose your customers. Now, this is a tricky thing. All right, like, and you're asking about COGS. COGS mean cost of goods sold, as in, again, to go back to that slide, let's say, what business are you running? Lakan, are you in service? Like, are you a restaurant kind of a business or a food product? What basically it means is that, let's say you're selling something for 100 rupees, right? And your cost of making that is, let's say, 25 rupees, right? Cost of making that is 25 rupees. Then you have your overheads like electricity, rent, and all that. After that, you still need to have 50% margin. Same goes for uh, telling dollars or euros. 50% margin goes for anything. I mean, dollars, euros, rupees doesn't matter. What it means is if you're selling, so for example, I was selling snacks for 10 rupees, right? My distribution and retail margins were, I think, in the 35 or 40% area. So let's say what it means is that I need to make a product at roughly 2 rupees or 2.5 rupees to make my business viable. That's what it means. So if you're selling a product for $10, you need to make your product for $2.5 to make your food business viable. So, but targeting 50 miles margins with stiff competition from cloud kitchens, which I think Dr. Colin and Fuller won't make our product very expensive. Shakti, yes, that's a valid point, but that's where your brand strength comes into the picture. See, the thing about you need to understand about food business is that yes, people buy for taste, but eventually they also go for brand and consistency and that kind of stuff. So there's no way you can compete by saying I'm the cheapest product. That's not the way to go, right? So you need to figure out how can you position your brand so that you can demand that extra pricing, right? So, I mean, you wouldn't go and bargain to, let's say, a premium like China, which is that brand, mainland China, for example, premium Chinese food. You won't go bargain there because it's a brand, right? So it's all about brand building. Now, Bharat, how do you decide your marketing budgets, right? So that's where all these things are important. 50% margins will give you enough bandwidth to do a lot of things, marketing or have a good cash flow on that. So in terms of deciding a marketing budget, I would say ideal figures. I mean, this is just stats. You should have at least 20% of your revenue towards marketing. That's the basic number. But when you start off, that number is going to shoot up very high. It might go beyond 20% as well. So there's no fixed number to that, though ideal number it should be 20%. And as you grow, the marketing budgets will come down to as low as 5% as well. So it depends on your stage of business. All right, moving on. We're speaking about choosing your customers. So people, if you don't know what that means, choose your customers also means choose your battleground wisely, right? So when you start your business, be it restaurant or a food truck, or you're launching eggs, someone's yeah, Raghav, right? You spoke about eggs or ready to eat meals or packed food items. You need to choose who are you selling to. Now you might say that, hey, my business or my product is meant for everyone. Everyone can buy it, but you need to choose your customers wisely. Now let me explain that a bit more, right? What it means is that you have to focus on a certain customer targets, because see, at the end of the day, there is a certain sales channel that you using to sell to a certain kind of customer. So for an example, let's say my own example, let's say my product was priced initially at 30 rupees, and that means that I can only sell to a certain range of customers, right? I cannot sell to a kirana shop customer or someone who's buying in the local bakery. At 30 rupees means ideally a supermarket product, right? So the thing is, do you have then the initial budget or resources to pull that off to work with supermarkets? Now, this is something where I sort of played around a lot. So, for that reason, what I meant is your restaurant or your food product, right? You need to focus what is the target segment or the kind of customers that you want to focus to, and not sell, don't try to sell it to everyone. Like I said, my own example, I initially launched with 30 rupee price point. I tried to sell in supermarkets. The problem I had was there was listing fee. Yes, in India there's listing fee. In Europe, Ireland, there's no listing fee. They see good products, they take it, which is fine. But even then, there's 30 days or 60 days credit period, which means you only get money after 30 or 60 days in supermarkets, which didn't work out for me because I didn't have that kind of money. So I had to switch to smaller shops where it was cash and carry. So eventually, from 30 rupee price point, I brought it down to a euro or 10 rupee price point, locally speaking. And even there, what my sales team eventually ended up doing was that they tried to sell it to everyone, which is not the best use. You need to focus what kind of market, what kind of customers are yours, and try only selling to them initially. Otherwise, if you try to sell to everyone, you will burn your hands and you will have a lot of failures coming your way, like I had mine. So I learned this the halfway. I'm telling you, folks, you need to choose your battles wisely. Next point, let go of co-founders or employees who are not contributing. Now, again, I sort of learned this hard way as well. Uh, you know, everyone, including your co-founders, has a very important role to play in your business. And if they're not contributing, if they're sitting simply somewhere, let them go, right? For me, I started initially with a silent partner, and it got out to be a burden in the long term when I was raising funds and all that. So if someone is not contributing, shut them off. It's as simple as that. I don't take an emotional call. Their business is not about emotion; it's about money, right? So let them go if they're not contributing. Yeah. All right. So I guess that's the main points I wanted to discuss today. So to sum up, we start with numbers, right? So how brand and design is critical. All that is what we discussed. Now, I also have another poll published. A lot of folks here ask me that you need help with food business. I'm just publishing a poll just to understand what kind of help you need and if anywhere I can assist. So head on to the polls, participate. Just let me know is there how you want help in terms of food business. Anshika, how are you? You are flooding the chat. Is that really you? All right, so that what can be the efficient optimized marketing strategies for a health supplement brand? All right, so that is, are you working for the brand or are you owning a brand? I currently work with a health supplement brand based here in Ireland. We just started off selling online. So I know a thing or two about it. What can be efficient optimized marketing strategies? I can't have a quick answer to that. We need to discuss that in length later. I can share a bit of case study if you want in terms of what we are doing, but we just started off that too. I'm not sure if that's going to help you. And then after that, we can probably have a longer chat um, as well if that works for you, Siddharth. Is that something that will help you, Siddharth? I would be glad if you can share. Okay. All right. Uh, all right. So this webinar is still going on. We just almost there. So just to sum up things. What all we discuss is right here for you to see. how the cost, initially how to have focus on the numbers is important. Hiring the A team, leverage expertise of leaders and aggregators, targeting 50% margins, very, very important. Choosing your customers, letting go of co-founders, and finally, join my food academy. Now that's something we're going to talk about. I have a food academy that I'm launching. We'll talk about that again. If you have specific questions which we can't be discussing here, I would say follow me on Instagram and ping me. I can answer all your questions there. Siddharth, you asked me about a case study. That I've just put that on the chat. This we just started this client 2 months back, so not a lot of work done, but just ping me on Instagram or elsewhere. We can chat more about that. Miscalculate the time and log now. Can I have access to records if it please? Arundeep, I'm going to share the replay link once this is over, so don't worry about that. Thanks for joining, and it's okay. I would request to please show how I start marketing and this, how are eggs marketed in Ireland? Oh, well, Raghav, eggs are pretty big here in Ireland from what I can understand. In terms of how it's sold, premium eggs, corn-fed eggs, organic eggs, there's different categories, different price points, different kind of packaging. There's also vendors, as in this, how do you call that? This locus system where I can go and pick up eggs from certain locus place in nearby cities. So there's a lot of ways you can brand and sell that. Raghav, can we talk after this webinar as well? Can you ping me on Instagram? That's my Instagram profile. There. Just search for me, Andrew Mendes. If you can ping me on Instagram, we will talk about how we can sell eggs. I can also share another brand of my friend who's actually making ready-to-eat egg yolks. Maybe you guys can also work together in that line. All right, so that's that. Manav, you have an above question. I'm just looking at your question. Did I lose your question? I cannot see your question. How much would be the initial bare minimum for food startup branding and marketing? Praveen, can you tell me what is the kind of what do you call that food business that we're talking about? I spend around 3.5 or 4 lakhs for my initial branding and packaging. So just to let you know. So a lot of folks been asking what I do for a living. So I run an agency. Sorry, I have a marketing consulting business now based in Ireland and India. The good thing about this is that all my team members are remotely, which means I can work with clients anywhere from the world, be it in Ireland, Europe, UK, or India. I have currently clients from the UK and India, so I can help you. I mean, you can leverage my expertise in food business for your food brand. So one of the case studies I have here is of a meal prep company. As you can see, how I helped this brand go from a meal prep brand to a lifestyle brand. They were called AMPT. I rebranded them to what's called now Ampex, changed their packaging design. I repositioned them to be a lifestyle brand right now. They're coming up with merchandise, clothing, that kind of stuff. So amazing journey there. I can also share case studies of this. They are on my website. Uh, the last point that I want to talk about is the Food Business Academy that I've just launched. So what it means is that I'm I'm going to offer my knowledge and also some sessions around things that you can do. So I put together a course for food business owners. It's good for both aspiring and existing owners. So I've published that offer right now. It's a 50% off for the time being. So if you use the if you use the sorry, I think the code is not mentioned there. The code is FBA50. You will get 50% off on that course. The course I'll be putting in content every week and every month. A lot of things: business strategy, sales strategy, marketing strategy for your food business, be it both service business or be it the packaging business. It can be used for both of you. So that's that. Use the offer if you want to grow with me and learn things side by side. Well, I think that's it from my end. Yeah, I can take a few quick questions. We have very limited time. Shruti, you have a cafe or a food truck or something like? Okay. Do you have an idea of what the market is like for North Indian cuisine food business? Shruti, I'm not an expert in giving you market knowledge like that. It's very topical. I've lived in Delhi for a while, and I know food truck business, especially North Indian cuisine, does work. But again, it's very topical question. There's no quick answer to it. How to scale your business with lesser funds being a student? Manav, my first business I started with zero funds. So again, there's no There's no rocket science quick answer to that. If you join my course, I can share a few things that'll work with you. The course actually has a lot of things there that should help you. But or follow me on Instagram. We can chat, and I can try helping you. This question needs a bit more explanation that I need to talk beyond here. I also have one last poll published, folks, as we come to the end of the webinar. Is how do you like today's webinar? How was it? Was it interesting? Was it like blah, not great? Was it helpful for you? That's a big question. I will be doing a lot more of these webinars in coming days. Do take join in the Food Business Academy. It's 50% off for limited time. Just use the code FBA50. And if you have any specific questions, follow me on Instagram. We can chat more there. A lot of folks here have had questions, Raghav, especially about the egg business. Let's chat. I'm very interested to work with you there. Ash, you didn't say about restaurant on quarantine. See, I currently work with food business, and a lot of restaurants have gone online or delivering everything online. So, if you're in the restaurant business, I'd say again, depending on your locality, I think delivery is considered essential. So, I've seen food businesses grow exponentially during the COVID lockdown because a lot of people have time and they're eating. In fact, I did a webinar on how you can grow your food business during quarantine as well. So I can send you the replay link for that. Plus, you can also download the deck of that as well. Anshika, is it a good idea to start up with a new venture right after the pandemic? And Anshika, I'd say you don't have to wait for the pandemic to end. This is a good time because a lot of people are online. A lot of people are working from home. They have time to eat. They want to eat. They want to eat more. They want to look for more varieties. So I would say this is the best time to start a business. And I can also see that marketing is much more easier because, like I said, a lot of people are more online these days. So that's that. Uh, Manav, like I said, please ping me on Instagram. You are a student. Can you tell me what kind of business you're starting up? And Praveen, I think I answered your question in terms of initial budget for the food startup branding and marketing. Praveen, like I said, it depends on what kind of business you are. When I launched Kling 2, 3 years back, like I said, I spent around 3.5 lakhs uh, on branding and package designing for my 3 SKUs. This is just design, nothing else, right? But again, it depends on your business, what kind of business, how you want to scale it up, what kind of resources are you using. See, for example, I I have three set of design team that I work with. I have a team who's Khan's awards winning team who will charge a lot of money to design your what do you call that logo or branding, but it's close to award winning work, right? I also have another team who's going to charge a certain premium because they've been doing this for more than 10, 15 years. I have also a team who's doing this for 5 years. So it depends on the kind of experience you want to work with, Praveen. So that's that. All right. So someone who had asked me about pharma, are you still here? Srilil, what should be the ideal marketing strategy for cafe post-COVID lockdown? It was meant for social gathering kind of thing. Um, do you mean cafe or do you mean like a place where there are events? Because cafe means there's obviously scope for online delivery and all that. Because events, I'm not sure how it's gonna go after lockdown. A lot of events is now going to be online. This is really so much stress, no proper voice net. Joey is very, very sorry about that. I'm going to send you that replay link. You can watch this inconvenience without much issue. It should be much clearer then. Ash, would you share some tips for this quarantine? That's a very generic question. Quick answer, I actually have a webinar on growing your food business during quarantine or lockdown. I can send you the deck for that. Miscalculated. Okay, all right. So, any more questions, folks? Indian rupee 3 4 words. Ajay, what's the question again? Ajay, I missed that. 3 4 lakhs. Yes, I spent. So I designed this product in India. So yes, I spent between 3 and 4 lakhs Indian rupees to design the branding and all that. And if I'm talking in a euro or a dollar sense, I would say good pricing for branding would be somewhere between 4,000 euros, 4,000 to 6,000 euros average. This should be a decent pricing. Again, it depends on your kind of business. How important is offline marketing? What would be the conversion rate from offline marketing? Food delivery setup? Bharat, the food delivery and offline. So the best thing you can do is, I don't know if you, which city are you from? Most of the cities have something called as paper inserts, which means you go to the paper vendor who distributes, newspaper in every houses. You insert a leaflet in there. That's the smartest thing you can do offline. But otherwise, doing banner ads or offline kind of stuff doesn't really work. So um, given the COVID situation, if you're in the food delivery business, online is the way to go. So offline would be a bit down for the time being. Organic brand co-founder of Farmers Organic. Hi, Yash, how are you? Organic brand, are you selling organic produce like vegetables and stuff, or is there, what is the specific product, Yash? Can you brief that? But I hope I answered your question about the offline part. Uh, all right. Ajay, is that you, Ajay, from Trivandrum? Oh, sorry, Kollam. Oh, you didn't say about this. What else? Yes, everything. Uh, Hi Ajay, how are you doing? Glad you joined. Yes, you said everything. All right. So, are you planning to sell online, or what is that? What? How are you trying to planning to sell this off? Is are you trying to sell on retail? So, if you're gonna sell online, I would say Amazon groceries is gonna be huge in days to come. You can also set up your own website to help you with that as well. That is gonna be good. So, your marketing strategy primarily depends on how you want to sell this also. Are you selling through retail channels, or are you selling through your own online channels? If you're selling through retail channels, obviously you can leverage a lot of things there, as in retail branding kind of stuff. If you're selling online, obviously there's a lot of things you can do online. We're already selling online and offline. Okay. All right. Yes. So there's no quick answer on that. If you can just quickly follow me on Instagram, let's talk more about that. There, I can give some specific advice. We have an offline store too. We want to start a small cafe there too. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good thing, good way to do. I think if you the way to go right now with lockdown and all that is, can you sell more online? Can you sell subscription? So that's going to be the key when it comes to organic stuff. Is, can you sell a lot of things on subscription? So that means you'll have a lot of people who will be, buying from you on a weekly, monthly basis. Because when it comes to online, the biggest challenge is acquiring new customers and making more money out of them. So I would say yes, to quickly say, make subscription based business if you're selling online or even offline, so that you have, like, whatever happens, it's like crisis proof situation. You have that kitty of people who's buying from you every month or every week. So I'm not sure if that helps, but more we can speak on Instagram. Folks, we come towards the end. I hope you participate in the poll. I just want quick feedback on how this was. Um, Also, yeah, I guess that's it from me. Any more quick questions that we can take for people who missed this, or for some reason, the audio was not working? Like I said, I want to be sending the replay link. So once this is over, you will get an email which will have the this deck that we discussed. The only thing you need to know about this deck is you will be given a link, all right, and that link will basically, all right, will look something like this. And it has actually all the previous webinars, PDF decks as well. The thing is that it's not sent to you on email, it's sent to you on Facebook Messenger. So you'll be not logging in using, so if you're already on Facebook, it will show you get this in Messenger. So once you click this, you then go back to your Facebook Messenger, where you will be given the link to this particular thing. So that's how it works, just so that there's no confusion on that. Otherwise, any more questions? I'll also be sending a replay link for this webinar, so you can, if you got lost between all the issues, can still look at this webinar calmly without much internet issue. So the replay link should be ready in another 12 hours. So it should be in your inbox tomorrow. But the link for the slide deck I'll send right away after this webinar is over. All right. Hi, Siddharth. I thought I lost you there. What, according to you, should be ideal margin for health supplement product? Tricky question. In my business, which was snacking, I thought uh, I used to give 35. So what was it again? It was 25% for retailers and 10% for distributors. In Ireland, for health supplements, I work with a certain brand, right? So I think we generally give out between 30-35% as margins, but that depends on area, right? I mean, there's a standard rule to it. I don't think we can play around with it much when it comes to distributor margin. I mean, they all work with a fixed style for years and years to come. So there's no way to change that, according to me. That's what I've seen. So I hope that answers your question, Siddharth. How about if I want to set up a pop-up diner business? Ronald, where do you want to set this up? Pop-up diner business is pretty good because it's quite how do you call it, topical. It's very catchy in its way. It's a good model, I would say. uh, what I would insist is that you have like a central kitchen, which is always set up, which is always run, and you take online orders, which will give you that fixed income sort of a thing, and then you have your pop-up diner coming up in different areas to create more conversation, that kind of stuff. I don't know if that helps. Anshika, I'm not being able to download the PDF. Anshika, I'm sorry. The download link that I shared, it's not a PDF, it's a link. We'll be able to preview it. There are other PDF decks in there as well. All right, Ronald in Mumbai. All right, awesome. Yeah, I think pop-up diner business works given the high cost of rent and all that. But now that with the lockdown, all these business models are going to change. So I'm not sure how that's going to be affected, because what I know because of this whole COVID and lockdown is that the world as we know it is changing. Social distancing is going to be the norm. So uh, I would say central kitchen, online orders plus pop-up diner. That's the way to go. Then just focus on pop-up diner. I hope that answers the question. Any more questions, folks? Siddharth, if you can, was that case study helpful? I share a link with you about a client that I work on. Let's ping, if you can ping me on, let's say, Instagram or Facebook, we can chat more if there's something we can do together as well. So like I said, I now work with food businesses in terms of their branding and marketing and online and stuff. So, uh, any other questions, or we are good? We're well over the time today. I think we have, if no more questions, I think we're done for the day, folks. Thanks, many thanks for joining me today. I'll send you the link for the rerun of this tomorrow. The link for the slides is going to be sent to you as email once I end the event. Uh, Otherwise, let's stay in touch. Follow me on Instagram. Do take part in the Food Business Academy if you want to learn strategies to grow your business. That offer is going to be live for the next 10 hours. Use FBA 50 to get 50% off on that course. Any consulting work or any kind of help you need with your business, you want to go online, you want to create a brand, packaging, design. Raghav, I hope we're going to speak soon. Um, Please ping me either on Instagram or on Facebook or online. I'm pretty easy to find, or on my website as well, and we can talk more. Many thanks for coming here, folks. Have a good evening ahead. Uh, and folks in Ireland, have a good day ahead as well. See you soon. Take care. Thank you, Ronald. I hope the event and the session today was useful for you. I'll be having another webinar where I'm going to talk about 10 things I learned from my food business failure soon. So see you all soon. Let's keep in touch. And I'm happy to help you in any way I can. God bless, guys. See you soon. Bye. Bye, Ajay.